Hi, I'm now going to demonstrate the usage of the Pay My Bill feature as found in the QuikTrade barter card management system. When you first enter into QuikTrade, you will come to a screen similar to this. It may be a different color with the logo of your particular exchange, but it'll look just like this, and it'll immediately come to the point of sale transaction. We're looking for the Pay My Bill option, which is right there, and I'm going to click there. Pay My Bill is where, instead of you being the seller, now you are the buyer and you are paying off an invoice or a bill from another member, in which case they are now the seller. So when you enter into this section right here, the first thing you'll see is the pay to the order of, and you'll see this little magnifying glass symbol right there. If you'll click on that, it'll bring up a search box so you can search the member you're looking for. You could put in the name of their company. You can put in the name of the person that's the primary contact for that company. My advice is to put in the shortest number of letters that will identify what you're looking for. If I'm looking for pest control and it's a company that I know it has the word pest in there, maybe I just type in the word pest and I hit enter. And sure enough, it brought up two different pest control companies. Or I know the guy's name is Jim, but I can't remember the name of his company, so I typed in Jim, and it's going to bring everybody that has somewhere Jim in the name, either of the member or the contact name. In this particular case, I'm looking for a company called Test, and 2 happens to be specifically what I'm looking for, and there it is. But let's say I just typed in the word test. Well, it would have brought up both the accounts. I'm actually signed in as test 1 over here, so we're looking for test 2, so I can show you this example. When you click on that, it'll bring test 2 up and it fills that in. Just as point of sale transaction, gift card transaction had the select product, which we're not actually using yet, but we'll be using in the future. It also has a description. Perhaps here is where you would type in the invoice number for the person that you're paying. And it already has your own card information here, so now all we have to do is enter the amount as found on their invoice and hit the tab key. It's going to calculate your transaction fee. If by any chance this was perhaps a vendor that you've been invoiced for, but you do owe a tip, let's say a limousine service, and they've invoiced you and you wanted to throw a tip to the driver because you forgot to do it that particular night, you could still put a tip in there, but that won't happen too often. And once you're at this point right here, the only thing you have to do is hit process transaction. It'll take a second or two, and it'll either give you an approved or denied message. If denied, then you will need to look and call the office to find out why is it being denied. Typically either because the cash reserve is not large enough to cover the fee, or your balance is not great enough, your credit limit is not great enough to cover the trade portion. But there may also be something that is interfering with that transaction on the other party's side, and so in that particular case, you should find out from there. You'll get either a transaction approved or denied. If it's approved, then you can print out a receipt if you needed to, but more than likely, since you're paying off an invoice, you don't need that. But if you did, it's there. Hit no. While this information is still on the screen, you could print that receipt by hitting this print button right here. But once you leave the screen by either hitting one of these other tabs or by inserting a new transaction, then this particular transaction will not be able to be printed as far as a receipt. When you are finished with this, and by the way, an email does go out to both the buyer and the seller when this sort of transaction takes place, letting the seller know that you've paid that invoice. When you're finished, hit log off, and that's it.